the reality is that there were too many of you guys at that time. And I mean, me being the SG, I was leading about 53,000 students.
I'm just trying to get people inspired. That's the main thing that I'm trying to do.
It was awesome to serve you as a student representative, and I enjoyed my time there. It is a beautiful part of my youth where I could really contribute to the building of this nation meaningfully and be able to measure my contribution by how many students or how many young people I can contribute in them making their dreams come true.
I was not gonna be able to do it and all of that. And I went into depression. Have you noticed, if you have this one thing, if there's anything that you want to do, it's this one thing. Mara, you've tried to do it, and it's not like you were not studying or you were playing and all of that. Mara, at the same time, you failed at the end of it. And
there's self-talk. Self-talk is the dialogue that you have with yourself.
Those who are in the forefront, the Black people who are in the forefront must again learn to write again, because it is a Black thing to write.
Good day, good afternoon. I hope everyone is good. I hope we are all well.
Hello guys, welcome to the Hadison podcast. This is the Black Mind First Village. My name is Hadison. I am from Donald. My mom gave me a name, Nkosnati. My granny gave me a name, Tutuzi. And my father's last name is Khatebe. Hello guys, welcome yet to another episode of the Hadison podcast. I believe this is episode 8. Apologies for the video that we posted last weekend. I believe there was a sound error on the video, because when I was editing it with my minimum skills of editing, everything sounded fine. But when I posted on YouTube, the sound at some point it wasn't fine, and I only got to realize later on the week that the sound is not fine. Apologies about that. So I decided to redo the video, and hopefully this time sound won't fail me. So the content or the context of the video that I'm talking about is, as promised, a video about my entrepreneurship journey, how it started, where it is now, what's the plan going forward. So what I would like to cover in this video, I like to cover Hadison Consultant, because it is my vision breaker in terms of entrepreneurship. Something that's big, or that has a future. So Hadison Consultant is the first business, or is the first big idea that I had. So I like to cover Hadison Consultant, and then from there I'll cover a DUNAQUA product, which I'm part and parcels of it. It wasn't my idea. I just got the car already moving, and then I jumped in. And then I like to cover Hadison podcast, because now it's on the beginning stages. I'm just going to cover what I think, or what I wish this kind of organization will do to the Black's mind, because my dream and my passion about the Hadison podcast is to elevate the Black's mind first, before I try to accommodate other people as well. So before I go forward, I'd like to give a shout out to Ukudama gang. So there's this guy who has a brand called Fere Fokol. I'm wearing his t-shirt today, but I don't think you're going to see it because I'm using a phone to record. So, but shout out to him, and please check go Facebook, Instagram, actually all my social media platforms. There is a guy named 510s. Shout out to him. He's usually pushing brand efere for call ne brand 510s mchita wasenhlazatshe ekaslam. I've met him. He's brilliant. I was first introduced to him. I knew him because my younger brother Twin Hadison is also into music or hip hop, so I knew about him. I knew about his songs, but I got to listen to his songs 2015 when he released a mixtape. I don't know if it's a mixtape or it's an EP because I don't even understand what those words mean, but whatever it is that he released, I like to believe it's a mixtape. So he released a mixtape, Back to the City. So that was the first time I got introduced to him, 510. So he is pushing, if I recall, he is pushing a brand, brand 510s. So shout out to both of those gents, Machita Wasenhlazatshe. Shout out Magenge, Lan Corner. Keep the work going. We see you, we know you there. And hopefully one of the good days we're going to feature you on the podcast. So let's put that aside. So my entrepreneurship journey really started when I met my mentor. Actually, he wasn't my mentor when I met him, but then he became my mentor. He was a mentor. He is a mentor of a guy called Ulaki Twala or Hleza. But yeah, so 2015 when I got to Johannesburg, I met a guy Ulaki. I stayed with him flitzing as a Tigerback. Berea, which is next to Hillbrow, which is next to Vodacom Point, which is next to University of Johannesburg Dorotfontein campus, which is when they put they we usually call it DFC. So I met him in 2015, and then I was staying with him. So during the course of the year, he was working at the airport, one of the airports, Gauteng. So, but usually we knew each other's time of coming back because I had my timetable behind the door. Timetable yama class one, I had it behind the door. Today I'm attending this class and so forth. You know, guys, how the timetable works. But he had a straight forward schedule. He was going to work. He was leaving Endlini around 5 or something, but it was still dark when he left, or 5:30. But then I knew it was 6. He's going to be back Endlini because I think the train I think we shayisa 4, and then around by 5:30 to 6, and then train yambega, and then that's the other time he descends to time by Endlini. So I knew by 6 or half past 6 latest he'll be home. But then sometimes he'll come late and stuff, usually on Fridays. But it's not like he's going to turn out and stuff like that. It didn't turn out then. It didn't turn out then. So only to find out later on that he will have meetings with his mentor. So his mentor is Sir Gibson Sakong. He is a brilliant guy. Go to Facebook and check his post. Since I've known him, he's been a brilliant guy. I don't know how. The first time when I met him, I didn't say anything on the meeting because I was quiet, and at some point in my mind it was now making sense why like he is the way he is, because even like he is a brilliant guy. My my younger brother met him. Some of the gents from Kaslan, they've met him as well, because I couldn't let the brilliance to be just consumed or observed by me. So most of the guys, they've met him as well. So I met Gibson Sakong. Then he is the chairman of Montepeja Academy. I'll make time at some point in time and talk about him, and talk about the effectiveness that he has in my life. But today I just wanted to talk about my entrepreneurship journey, but I'll give the background some other time, because I can see now if I continue to give the background, it's going to consume time, and I won't be able to finish the things there. I won't be able to talk about all the things that I want us to talk about today. So after I met him, I had an idea, actually not an idea. So on my first year, it was 2015, I was doing my first year, and then 2016 I was doing my second year. And because the first year I didn't have funding for tuition and accommodation and all those kind of things, so now I was trying to apply for a funding, bursaries and all those kind of things. And um, when the academic year application process started, I I told a few guys from Ekaslam, few guys that I knew that were behind me. I think I started for applying for my brother, because I remember now 2015 he was doing his matric, and then 2016 he was supposed to come to varsity, but it didn't come. So 2016 I was applying for him, and another agent esikhule nayo, uGuy, simbiza ngoGuy, but yeah, I'll just say guy for the sake of yeah. So I think I first applied for those gens, and then I don't know who else I applied for, but I remember by the time the application process ended in 2016, I applied for about 20 guys from Etondon and stuff. And then I from there, when the application process closed, because I was mainly applying for few universities that I knew of. I knew of UJ. I actually knew about the universities in Gauteng. Some of the universities I didn't know about. I did UJ, TUT, UP. I didn't do it because a criteria yongena laphaya is iphezulu kakhulu, and most of the gens, or most of the people that I'm applying for, they are from villages, and you know, kuhlala emakhaya ukuthi kunjani, isigele sometimes asibe priority, and story for another day. So I did UG, I did TUT, I didn't do VIS, I didn't do UP. I think I also did VAL, but it was mainly TUT and UJ, because I was in UJ, and another friend of mine, Undumiso Tabet Mkolo, he was in TUT. So those institutions, I know them. So I knew if there's people they got accepted, I was going to be able to help them find accommodation and so forth. So then I applied for people, and then when the application process ended, then I started applying for people who have completed maybe N3 or N6, and then nama diploma, apply for internships. And then that's when I started to apply internships. Each and every time that I got, like nama weekends, what I will do, I remember AOJ i-computer lab beyivulwa ngeSaturday, beyivulwa ekuseni, but I think beyivalwa ngo-12 or ngo-1. So when I woke up ekuseni ngeSaturday, I'll just button it and then go to a campus and then do my applications, apply abantu, and stuff for my internships and all those kind of things. And then I got familiar with the Untitled application, and then the following year, in 2017, the same thing continued. But now in 2017, I started to have people from other provinces. So then I started to share it on Facebook. I started to share it on Facebook, and then fast forward October, I think the 7th of October, I launched the Facebook page, the Hadison Consultant. So Hadison Consultant, basically, when I started it, I was applying for people who wanted to go to university. Then I applied for people who are out of university who wanted to go to employment, like internships and stuff. But I was doing just for graduate programs and stuff, just for people to get the qualification. So I'm from the engineering background. So usually or normally, when you're studying engineering, we are required to do theoretical learning, and then for you to graduate you need to get some practical. So it depends ukuthi ufunde kuphi. If ufunde a college, usually you're supposed to get a learnership or apprenticeship, and then if you from university, usually you get internship. If you from the university, internship if so by 1 year, but then if you from a college, apprenticeship or learnership, it comes over about 3 years, and then you qualify book and stuff, and then you qualify. So that was the gap I was trying to close, because my biggest issue was a lot of people who are like me. I actually it was sort of a solution for myself and my struggles, and I knew very well that I wasn't the only one who was struggling like that, because I didn't know a computer up until I got to UJ. I didn't know a computer. The only thing that I knew on a computer, uyivula, ufake password, ufake ingoma, noma ufake movie. That was the only thing that I knew what to do with the computer. And I was about Excel, now spreadsheet, now PowerPoint, none. And I was on my YouTube and stuff. I didn't know about all those kind of things. And I was applying then on internet and stuff. Because even if phone, I remember being 250i when I got to UG. I think I bought my touch screen. I think I bought the first touch screen. Actually, I think it was even later than that, because even WhatsApp, I remember 2016, late 2016, bengisebenzisa Nokia Asha or Nokia C63 or something, namabhathini amaningi bekade BlackBerry. So that was the phone I was using. I didn't have a smartphone for the longest time. So I thought there were a lot of people who are like that, who are in my situations. And because I have a little bit of a privilege, because I'm staying close to campus, I can walk to campus. It takes me less than 30 minutes to walk to campus, and there's internet, free internet, and I have time, because I wasn't doing a lot of modules on my second year, which was 2016. So I had a lot of time on my hand, because even when my friends were going to attend classes, I didn't have anything to do. So what will happen is I'll have a class maybe from 10 to 11, and then my next class will be somewhere maybe around 3 or something like that. So it will be late during the day. So I'll spend a lot of time on the computer lab, and then that's when I learned how to do all those kind of things. And then 2017, that's when I launched a page for Hadison Consultant. Then I was doing those applications and stuff. But as time goes on, some of the things I realized they were not effective. For an example, it didn't make sense for me to apply internships or apprenticeship for other people, because it required you to send emails. So what I will do is, usually you'll find people that they don't have email addresses. So I'll create those emails and have access to them, apply for them, because when you're applying, I can send an email on your behalf using my email for a job application or something like that. And if, for an example, for the same company, or yes, for the same company, I'm applying for 20 people, but I'm using one email address, even though on the board of the email or on the attachments it's for different people, but for me that time I thought it doesn't make sense. So I stopped doing that. I stopped doing that program, and then the only thing that I focused on was academic and funding applications. Even for those, I didn't do private colleges. I don't do bursaries in most cases, because sometimes I feel like sometimes ayahlupha amabhazari, because bazokufuna ama-interview. Maybe they say you must come for an interview before they can give you the bursary. You must come for an interview, and I don't want people. I don't want anything to do with money, especially people's money. I don't want anything to do with people's money. So what I'll do is I focus on academic applications for public universities. So if it's a college somewhere, it doesn't have AC.za, it's a private college, you have to apply there, and then go and do what. I don't do that, because even colleges, I only do colleges that accept online applications. I don't do colleges whereby you have to walk in and stuff. So I walk in people there. I don't like some of the people that I've applied for, we've never even met, because I don't want people to get scammed, saying they were going to meet Hadison and stuff, and then they never return, and all those kind of things. So I tried by all means to avoid that kind of a thing. So I'm focusing on academic application and funding application remotely. So you send me your information, I apply for you, I give you login details, and I tell you. Once I apply for application, I think if you go to Hadison Consultant, pin there on the first post that you're going to see, it's the post that's going to tell you that I think it's the post that I put more January. Masisivula masicala ukwenza application, and then the second post that you're going to see, it's a post to say, once you've done your application, you must change your pin, you must change your passwords, because you don't want to be held reliable. So once I do your application, I give you all your details. You have to change your password, so that whatever happens, it's on you, it's not on me. So that's basically the story about the Hadison Consultant. But there are a lot of things ezenzakalayo lapha kule initiative, but because for the sake of time, I won't be able to mention all of those things. So, but then basically that's what I do for Hadison Consultant. Shortly, I do academic application, I do funding application. For funding application, I mainly focus on NSFAS. I do Funza Lushara, because something that you have to do online. I know very well, everyone know about Funza Lushara. It's not a bursary where you're going to say it's a bursary from Hadison Enterprise. So you need to come for an interview, you need to send money for this and that. I don't want those kind of things. So NSFAS, you can ask anyone about NSFAS. Everyone knows how NSFAS works. There's no way that you're going to go for an interview, or there's no way that they're going to require you to send some money and all those kind of things. So those are the things that I do for Hadison Consultant. And then I think, when was it? I think it was 2019, 2018. There's a brother of mine, also says he hold a special place in my heart, because he is a hustler, he is a mover, he is a thinker, and I believe me and him, considering how we grew up, I don't think we're supposed to be doing the things that we are doing, because there's still a lot of gap that we have to close, especially because we are firstborns. It is badala. So if umdala, you need to you almost become the first one you almost become the first one for everything. So I understand the responsibility that God gave me. Unfortunately, responsibility of a firstborn, responsibility of umdala, because you have to do things, sometimes things that you wouldn't normally do, but you're doing them for the sake of the other people, the other siblings that are younger than you. So you have to do things the right way all the time. There's no excuse. So him and myself, I think, I believe that we have that we share that responsibility, and the way he has moved in his life, it is remarkable. I love him so much. But let me not become a sissy and tell you guys how much I love my brother and stick to the business of today. So 2018, he had him and Melusi, may his soul rest in peace. One day I'm going to talk about that guy, Umelus. May his soul rest in peace. So him and Umelusi, they had started a business called Mbuluzu Construction. So what they were doing there at first, what they were doing is they'll go ngani yabazi wameselana basekazi awuqeda umsebenzi. So what they'll do, they'll finish up umsebenzi wabantu. So let's say umeselana ufikile washiya wasebenza washiya, and then they'll see that opportunity and come maqedela umsebenzi wakho and stuff and then going on, like ukuhamba kwesikhathi, and then baqala ukwakha izindlu. So wabona team yakhe construction, then bakha izindlu, because Umelusi, he had been on construction. I think that guy knew everything in construction. I think he knew everything from plumbing, he understood everything. He wasn't those guys about say or electrician, then over electrician, noma abantu ongathi akubeka isitini, noma ungathi kumele abeke isitini esiyi-1 akafuna ukusibeka cause akasiyi i-bricklayer yena, uyi-electrician. So I don't think he was those guys. He was the guy who will say makuthiwa kudinga electrician ukuthi kuboshwa ini plug kanjani, so and understood everything. So they had Mbulu's Construction. So then they built it, and then 2019 late, I think Ritman besekafuna ukungena kuma-tender. So he was bidding for a tender. I remember he called me and there was a deadline which was like 2 days or 3 days time to come as a Transnet to bid. I don't remember. I think bekumele sibhidele ama-cable, ukusupply ama-cable, certain cables. So he wanted me to find out quotations and stuff. So I did that for him. I called around internet and all those kind of things. Then I'm told, because I think la bekasebenza khona, he was traveling, so I didn't have time to check all those kind of things. Not that he didn't know, because he's a very smart guy. He knows about he knows about a lot of things, especially serious things. He knows about them. So excuse me. So I did that for him, and then later on then came another project, but we didn't get those projects because we only found out that some of those projects were scams, and then some of those projects we didn't get them and stuff. So because now sifakile ama-quotation, and then wathi awuzoyithola then kumele udize manje, then like yabona-ke le ndaba le. And manje sebasenda ama-email ngama-Gmail account, Transnet@gmail, then we see it, hey, there's no way. So fast forward, 2019, he called me and he told me he has a water company that he is starting, he needs someone to design a logo, because I'm a branded guy, but I have an unbranded brand. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm a branded guy, but the brand is unbranded. If 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 my lady can tell you, I love clothes, beautiful clothes, but as long as it doesn't have a brand, as long as it's not loud, I don't like things that are loud. So, he told me he is starting a water company, and he needs a logo. And I have a guy who does all those kind of things. So I usually put him social media on my WhatsApp. So he asked me, do you know anyone? I said, yeah, of course. Then he said, but I don't know of a name yet. I said, okay, let me see what I can do. Then I researched about a name, found a name, and then I told him, but bro, you can't get a logo without registering the company, because now you get the logo and then try to register the company, only to find out the name that you're using, it's not, you're not going to be able to use it because it already belongs to another company. Then it's like, yeah, sure, it makes sense. So do you know any guy who know how to register a company? I'm like, yeah, I know a guy. And then we called the guy, then gave us a quotation. It was too much, like, hey, too much, man. Then we didn't go through with that guy. And then a lot of things happen. I think we trying to develop the idea, because another thing is we're far apart from each other. I was in Mpumalanga still, but Nelspruit, and he was in Secunda, and Melus was in Dantonal. So we were talking from time to time, because I was also busy with Hadison Consultant. Like I've been busy with Hadison Consultant since 2017. So then fast forward, and then he said, am I interested in joining the company? I'm like, yeah, I'm interested, but I don't have money. He said, nah, because you don't have money, you can invest with your resources, with the knowledge that you have. Like, okay, no, fine, cool. And then I learned how to register a company. First time failed. I didn't know how to do it. Actually, I knew how to do it, but I didn't pay attention to the dates, because I had to reserve a name, and then after reserving a name and pay to reserve that name, I think you pay 50 rand to reserve a name on CIPC. And then from there I paid, and then from there I registered. But we were supposed to submit all the documentations, ID numbers and proof of residence, ID copies and proof of residence within, I think it was within 15 days or something like that. But that time passed. So, and then later on when we're submitting, then it bounced back. And then I did it the second time, reserved the name, then I applied, then I registered, and then everything was fine, submitted all the documents in time. And then now we got a certification. The day I got the certification, I think it was July 2020. So from 2019 up until 2020, we were trying to register the company, we were trying to brainstorm it. Rotman already is trying to find a place and stuff. And then fast forward 2020, we launched everything. So from 2019 to 2020, it's also trying to get equipment, because the money was short. We had to try to raise money and all those kind of things. So 2020, more July, forgot the date, I think it was the 20th of July, we launched DUNAQUA products. I came up with the name, and we built it. One of the proudest things that I've done in my life so far, in my entrepreneurship journey, even though it wasn't my initial idea, but I'm still proud of it. I'm proud of it even more than Hadison Consultant, because DUNAQUA is something on another level. the emotions that went in the hard work. For Hadison Consultant, I like to believe it's easier because it's not 10,000 hours, but I've spent a lot of time doing it, so it's easier for me to do an application if I have all the information that I need, and I usually have all the information that I need before I can do an application. So once I have that information, 10 minutes tops, if the internet is fine, 10 minutes tops, I'm done with application. And if the internet is fast, I can even finish 2 applications in 15 minutes. Do this on another tab and then do the other one on the another tab. While this one is loading, I go to that one, I fill in the information. When I come back, this one is fine, and go back to the other tab and then do another application. So, but the DUNAQUA product is something else, because we had to go and look for sales. First day we launched, it was fine, everything was okay, it was happy, we were happy, and then people came in to buy water and stuff, purified water. Something else, people, it was the first time they saw something like that. Sayibeke kasi baba, retail, and people were coming there to get clean water. If you are from Donald, you can remember around that time, 2019, 2020, during COVID, amanzi wakhona bewengekho mnandi, bewengekho clean. So we brought DUNAQUA products, and then we had to go to $8, and $8 eziningi zidominator by those guys who are from outside, and you come to talk to them, you tell them, I'm selling my water at this price. They want to negotiate with you. They want to negotiate with you on the prices, and then you tell them, this is the cost for my production. The cost for my production is this. So if you're saying I must go lower than that, you're saying even that I lost on the product, at least give me, like, let me break even. But they didn't understand, but we had to persuade them and stuff. So we worked and all those kind of things. So that's why I'm saying for DUNAQUA products, it's it's one of the things, it's one of the beautiful things I've done with my life, with my life. So I'm getting goosebumps when I'm thinking about it. With that brand, with that product, if you know me, I am an introverted person, but because this business required everyone to go out, so we all did. It doesn't matter if you know how to talk to people. It doesn't matter if 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 unamahloni and stuff, shy. This business didn't care. If you don't go out and look for the sales, they're not going to come to you. Fake petrol emotweni, fake ivati, uvaye i-groundini uyothengisa, uvaye ney'ntwana zami, ucebo nompilo. Shout out my gang. I know one day mina nani sihamba ulwandle siphinde sibuye ngenyawo njengoJesu. So emotionally, it took from me. That I say that business, it's one of the proudest things I've done with my life so far. I know going to university was difficult, but that took me 5 years. But for it DUNAQUA to happen, my period of COVID, when COVID started from April to July, we had to get a place to get stickers. We had to get a place because now, once COVID started, we were all together. Bengingaseyi indaba yama-conference call yokufona, kodwa-ke seku-conference call, siyafona, siyakhuluma, siya-brainstorm and stuff. Now we were meeting for hours ko-Grootman, sihlala sikhuluma lantolana, siyi-brainstorm, sinikeza nama-tutor, wena uzokwenza lokhu, wenza lo. So at a very short period of time, we had to build this baby, and make it a brand. Like it wasn't an easy thing. And if thinking about it now, 2021, I was only 20. Was I 20? No, I wasn't 20. But I was still young. 2021. I was still young. So it took from me. It's one of the proudest things that I've done with my life so far, and I pray to God that one day me and my brother we rebuild DUNAQUA products and and sell it to Coca-Cola, and not Coca-Cola, and sell it to more fire. It's 30% to more fire, terrorize young industry beverage, and become part and parcels of history, of black excellence, black history. I talk to I talk that blessing into our lives. Guys, ngumfundisi mina, so sometimes ngiyashubayela, so kwehle isambulo nje manje nixolele. But anyway, going back to my entrepreneurship journey, so that's how Hadison Consultant started. That's how DUNAQUA product has started. And by the way, when I was doing all these things at DUNAQUA products, Hadison Consultant has always been the thing that I've doing each and every day. Passionate about it each and every day, helping people each and every day. So I've been on it since 2017, and it doesn't stop. Actually, each and every day, manje, I speak to a new client who wants to do my applications, and the way that I work now is each and every 2 days or 3 days I need to do an applications, because if I don't do that, by the time the weekend comes, I have about 6 or 7 client on the application, and each and every client or applicant maybe 2 or 3 applications. Like for those guys who came in early applications, or those guys who came in later last year, because I started with those guys. I did applications when there was still time, when people were still relaxed and stuff. I did their applications, everything was clean set. I think if they finished their matric, they've already got the space to universities. So building DUNAQUA products and building Hadison Consultant at the same time. And then in 2020, while I was on that, just in podcasting arose, and there was podcasting, because remember wonke umuntu kasendlini ahlele emakhaya and stuff, and then singasebenzi sihlele emakhaya, siconsume vele social media and stuff, and then podcast and chill yaka MacG, then beyenza ama-flames, Facebook and stuff, each and everyone akhuluma ngayo, ibona podcast and stuff. And then check podcasting, what's happening there and stuff. And then there is a guy, Tom Bellew. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name correctly now, but Vostemegwayo was a guest in the podcast somewhere, I think 2020 years. So because I'm a fan of Vostemegwayo, I saw that video, and I watched the video, and I watched more videos, and then I researched the guy, Tom, and he is an incredible guy. So what he does on that podcast is the very same thing that I want to do on this podcast. I want to, because I have a passion for education, wherever I go, whatever I do, I think about education. What could I learn here? What could people learn here? What could I teach people about this? Would people like to hear about this? And all those kind of things. So my mind is always like that. I want to teach people. I'm always thinking about people that would like to hear about this and all those kind of things. So for example, if I watch a podcast and something stand up for me on a podcast. You know, music, so yabo. Music, so ngicela yena ukuthi hey, what, good things and bad things, sometimes silly things, but if there's something nje engiyitholile ku-podcasting, I feel like I can teach it to someone else. And shout out to another gent eselokishini lam Sakhile Malambula. One day he have a beautiful voice. He can speak. That guy can speak. You know speakers like who? Speakers like E.T., Eric Thomas, speakers like, quick example, easy example, like Julius Malem, people who speak on a rhythm. That guy speak on a rhythm. When he speaks, yazi nakathi uJesu nje ya makathi uJesu phuza lamanzi ayini, ngazuphuza lamanzi angeke usaphinde wome, kuyogobhoza imifula ngaphakathi, something like that. Sakhile is like that. When he talks, you feel like he's talking to you. You feel like he has been watching you. A quick advice to him. I'm not sure if he's going to see this, but I think he might see this. Quick advice to him, bro. Leave it text context. Share my text, because I'm a text. They are fine, but I think people lose you there and they misunderstand you. Do a video. It's easier for people to watch than to read. People are lazy to read, but it's easier. Most of the people, or average people, they are lazy to read, but to watch, they can watch anything. So focus on my video content and my word format. Don't do them. That's just a friendly advice from me, Hadison Consultant. So yeah. Anyways, guys, those are the three things that I'm mainly busy with now in terms of entrepreneurship. But let me tell you this disclaimer: those things are still on the building stage. They are not even in the building stages. They are on the planning stages. Because even for the Hadison podcast, I haven't got an idea really about it, a matured idea. I still have a lot of ideas to support the main idea, which is impact theory as a South Africa. so even Hadison Consultant, I have another I journal things. So there's another journal of mine where I write all the entrepreneurship aspirations that I have. So for all the ideas that I have for Hadison Consultant, I have about maybe 20 or 30 of the things that I want to do through Hadison Consultant. So you can now see even for that organization, I still haven't got an idea what I want to do really. So I know what I want to do really, but how am I going to use all these other things to support that main idea? I'm still working on that. DUNAQUA products, there's still a lot of work to do. Hadison podcast, I'm not even talking about Hadison podcast because I started being consistent manje ngoJuly, because beyond ungilovile sonke lesikhathi ngifuna ama-camera, ngifuna i-studio in I decided when I knew about Penwell, the black pen, Siba olumnyama, that's what he usually calls himself. So when I knew about him, then he started I followed him. Then I saw he's been making videos on a phone. Then I'm like, bro, I have a phone and I can make those videos, because some of the things that's important is the content, not necessary. Got a video yakho, iyabonakala or loud and stuff, because according to Penwell, I haven't done my research about this, but according to Penwell, this thing that I'm doing now and everything that we're doing on YouTube is not actually podcasting, it's vodcasting. Podcasting is an audio format. It's an audio, that the thing that you do on Spotify and Apple and Google, what, all those kind of things, like audio, that's podcasting. So what we're doing is vodcasting. So with that being said, there's still a lot of work to do. So ukusebenzisa ifoni noma recording ngelens e-500mm noma i-700mm ekuthatha 5 meter away, noma usebenzisa amakhamera we-panel show ahambayo, so or set up to program a computer and stuff like that. So it doesn't, like, for you to start, you don't need all those kind of things. If they come, they must be a bonus, but people need to invest in the content. So that's what I'm doing. I'm investing in the content, because actually the content is the thing that we're pushing. Educating people is the thing that I'm pushing. If I'm educating people and I look good, then that's going to be a bonus. And if I'm educating people and then can hear me clear and properly, that's also going to be a good thing. That's why I'm trying to learn isiNgisi. I'm ukukhuluma isiNgisi each and every day, because I understand and I believe that I'm going to be global. So ngeke ngize ngikhulume lento yami ngikhuluma yaseduntuni esingayazi nokuthi isiZulu noma iSwazi noma iSwati noma yini. So I'll try by all means to talk English, even if I'm not going to be that fluent, but as long as people will hear me what I'm saying, then that's going to be a bonus. So guys, I hope everything makes sense to you, because I think from my heart I've poured everything that I wanted to pour about this thing, because I think this is the last video that I'm going to do about me. Going forward, it's going to be the content that I'll like, that has helped me, and that I believe is going to help more people, young gens especially. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I know you're going to watch, and I'll see you on the next video. Keep on subscribing to our channel. Keep on liking our video if you like them. You're not forced, but please like them, and comment just to let us know what you think about especially the daily videos that I post. Hadison word of the day, inspired by Mr. Mdaga. What's his name? Forgot his name. But yeah, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend. I will see you at work. Said by Sir Denzel Washington. Cheers guys.